how's getting back into the swing of things been going for you?
Uh, Good. Glad that I'm not being booted out anymore.
I mean,
I'm glad that the roster is actually taken to me. It's like, hey, you're back now. We can actually get stuff done.
I don't think like, well, some of them were like not that bad off, but I get what you mean though.
No, because like you've gone for 3 years and then you come back and it's like, man, do you know how much you got to fix now that you're back and you don't know what's been happening. It's like I've been watching.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't been around doesn't mean I don't watch. I still don't know. I still don't, say anything about my company because I still like my company. I started with it. I did it, built it with my own two hands.
Yeah, I get it. I think the only thing I kind of, I kind of regret is the fact that you kind of had to see me. You had to see me like fucking almost self-destructing myself just to keep everything afloat.
Yeah, well, I mean, you saying that you were going to kill my company off didn't really help me any, but
Yeah, that was not one of my proudest moments. I'm not gonna lie, but I thought I would do it enough where I could, I guess, light a fire under your ass hard enough where you would just like fuck that and try to come after it, or try to get it back. But it didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I mean, it's all in the past now. So
oh yeah,
I mean, the wounds are starting to heal, so to speak. So there's
yeah.
that.
I mean, of course, people are trying to open them up,
Mm.
and one person.
Is it the
I mean, I
person I'm
hope you
thinking about?
understand. Because I hope you understands. Like I booked that match because I felt like it wasn't my place to say anything. You
um,
know that you know him more than I do.
yeah, yeah, I do, and I know why he's doing it. I'm not gonna give it to him. I'm gonna be real. No matter how much he wants me to be that, I'm not gonna be that. Like I can't. I don't know how many times I've said this. That was the worst part. That was like at the worst moment of my life that I started being that because I felt like 20 different ways and all of them were bad.
Well, yeah, dude. You had freaking Carmen in the hospital. I
I
was there. I saw that.
Carmen was in the hospital. Her mom was fucking mad at me. Maya was mad at me. Everybody was mad at me, and it was one of the most punishing moments because it was like, how can you tell somebody she knew what she was getting into, she knew what she was signing up for, and she wouldn't be upset at me for what's going on? But you can't tell that to them. They'll blame you because it's like you put this fucking idea in her head to be this. You did this. You did that. And so.
It's very irritating.
Yeah.
Of course, our mom's gonna get mad.
Of course. I mean, I'm not even gonna falter for that. So.
Like, dude, you know how many times Lucinda's mom gets mad at me for stuff that just trivial,
Right. I mean,
trivial stuff.
you're kind
And
of you're public enemy number one to them. So.
well, it's easing up now, but
Yeah.
because I kind of shut him up on my action.
Yeah. It's kind of that way right now with me and Carmen. It's it's weird. I There's a lot of
But
stuff I
I'm
can't
letting
say.
Lucinda handle that stuff.
Yeah.
I let her handle Wildcats because she trusts me for takedown. She doesn't interfere in my business. I don't interfere in her business. But at the same time, it's like, man, Carmen's going through some rough stuff right now. I didn't even know about.
I
So,
I knew about it, but I
like, eventually she's gonna have to tell the whole story.
Yeah, and
I hadn't seen her. She hadn't been to meetings. She hadn't called. She hadn't texted. I haven't gotten a message at all. Like since conspiracy. That was the last time I talked to her.
the last time I talked to her was when I was getting ready for my promo to TBGW.
Yeah.
When V thought it was when V decided to I'm using air quotes shoot on me. So, like I was gonna go out there and do it, and I was kind of, you know, getting a little angry, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and there's Maya on the other end, and she's just like, "Yeah, don't do that. Don't, because Carmen knows what you're about to do. Don't do it. And I know what you're about to do, so don't do it." She was like, "Don't waste your anger. Don't waste all that on stupid, trivial shit like that, because you know the truth. We know the truth. They don't know the truth. So, who the fuck cares?" And then I just ended up doing that instead. But yeah, that's the last I talked to them. They've made it very abundantly clear. I can't go to Wildcats, actually. Weird enough. Yeah. One of the decisions they made when they got you and Lucinda back. One of the board's decisions was I'm not supposed to be on Wildcats, mostly because of Carmen, and because of the fact that you know. So they were like, you can't be on Wildcats, even though I was like one of the trainers. So when you and Lucinda came back, one of their big things was we'll get new trainers. Malik should not set foot on anything Wildcats related. And I was like, okay.
Well, I think she did that. Because the other person's.
No, oh, I know. Trust me, I get it. I'm being professional about that. So, but God, it's weird. I haven't been to England in like 3 years.
Take down 50.
Yeah.
You won the world title. I think no, you were the world champ.
I was the world champion. I lost it to Jordan.
Yeah.
It was yeah. It was the funniest. It was funny.
If it was me, I would have freaking reversed that decision real quick.
Yeah, but I wasn't mad, honestly. I think I was more pissed at the fact that they decided to do the whole, oh, Jordan's gonna lose it in 8 seconds deal with me. I think that was like my only issue, but I
No,
felt
I think it was the fact that like you had a title match, and then right afterward you had another title match, and Jordan won the title.
yeah,
At least I think that's how it went.
it did.
And then Clash of Demon Head happened, and you and Jordan start, and Jordan just gets knocked the fuck out right off the bat and loses.
Yep.
It's like, well, I'm sorry.
It's like- Part of me was like, yeah, that's a good way to shit on him, you know.
Yeah.
I was one of the people that didn't like the idea that Jordan did lose the belt like that, but I mean, I kind of also felt that
People didn't like the way he won it either. So.
yeah, and I get it because it was a really shitty thing he did. Not really part of the story, you know, but have you been in contact with the Sylvias?
I a little bit because Jordan. I know Jordan wants to come back now. He made up with his father, and they're on better terms. And Richard got unceremoniously canned. Michelle got unceremoniously canned. So it's like I kind of want to bring them back in because they actually did help with a lot of what was happening before. Like when I got booted, they actually were more helpful than anybody else. And Jordan, yeah, he was kind of a prick, but at least somebody was in charge.
Got shit done, to say the least. Um, yeah, I, dude, you should have. Where I was at, it fucking caught me off guard because I didn't know. It's like one moment, one day you're talking to Michelle and Richard, and you're like going over stuff that's gonna happen. Next day you go in, and it's like, oh, Richard and Michelle got fired. For
Well,
what?
yeah. Well, thing is, like, they they fired me,
Yeah.
and Richard didn't know about it.
That.
And Richard was the one who was going to name a GM.
Mhm. That I know.
And to this day, I still don't know who he was going to name.
Um.
I don't know who he's going to name as his replacement, but I know it wasn't Jordan.
No, it wasn't.
It
It
wasn't
was.
Jordan.
I know what it was. I know who it was actually. I remember.
Huh.
Yeah. It was gonna be it was gonna be Gary Simone, but that didn't
Oh.
that didn't fucking work out either.
Well, yeah, because I think the Simones and the Sylvias kind of still have that little issue.
They were trying to bury they were gonna bury the hatchet that way, and then somebody inside kind of like it was gonna be Gary. He was gonna take over, but then somebody amongst the ranks kind of just stole that from under him, stole the position or some under Gary, and Gary thought Richard was trying to double cross him, and
Well,
yeah.
I know that. You know, Sylvia's. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Sylvia's have a daughter too.
Yeah, you do.
She doesn't trying to wrestle, but you know, her and Allison didn't really get along when they were training together. That kind of led to more problems.
Yeah,
Now,
she
like
she
talk
kind of
about it.
she kind of had that issue what Jordan did, where she relied too much on her name, and they did a match one time, and Allison got pissed off because she kept flipping the script during the match, if you know what I mean,
Oh yeah.
and just decided to fucking pretzel her right then and there. And Michelle was pissed off about that because she was there, and Allison told her, with all due respect, you need to teach your daughter manners and respect about the business. If I'm willing to work with her and she's not willing to work with me, what does that set for what does that set for your family? What does that set for the whole? Yeah, so that's it. That's another reason why Allison never got a fucking fair shot in DCU as well.
Well, see, I wasn't around, so I didn't. You know.
No, like, because, like, that's a story. I brought Allison in because she needed exposure. She was getting big in England. So I thought, let me get her into DCA. I didn't know. Like, so I knew about Richard and Gary's whole shtick with each other, right? I didn't know how deep it went until I think Allison started not showing up a couple of weeks into the show, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is she not here? Michelle just said, oh, I gave her time off. Why? And she just says, oh, well, she just gave like this aired reason, but Jordan actually was ballsy enough to just tell me, it's like, she's still pissed off at what she did to my sister. I was like, that's fucked up. So yeah, she made it to where Allison couldn't work, and oh yeah, Troy never got to be on the fucking shows, period, because of that. And Troy never had heat with any of them. That's the crazy part.
Well, Troy was the guy who was, he was in sudden impact.
Yeah.
And before the other closing.
And he was going to be a big deal, and that never happened. Derek Owens was going to be a big deal, and that never happened.
Right.
There's a bunch of stuff from the original Sudden Impact that didn't work.
Mostly because, like, they felt that it was a waste of money to bring all them in.
Well, yeah, but
Except
now-
Tyson, which...
well, yeah, Tyson Jax was always going to get called up.
Right. But it was like...
But the other guys, they had a shot, and well, I don't. There's one guy I don't want to talk about, and I'm not going to talk about, but we both know who he is. He caused some issues,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and that didn't help.
But
So it's like,
so I mean, it didn't, and it kind of fucked over everyone else. Cause I mean, Derek and everybody was willing to work, and everybody was willing to work, and it just never worked. It never went away because they didn't want to waste their money. They felt it was a waste of money trying to bring them all in and hold them into contracts. They felt that the money could have went to someone else. I don't personally believe that. I think it was messed up for them to do that. But
well, the thing is also is like, now with Unleashed and everything, it's like people were like, oh, well, it's not gonna work, and oh, it's gonna be a failure like the other ones, and it's like, how that makes me feel. Taking over this, and you're already writing it off.
oh no, it annoys the shit out of
And
you.
it's like I hadn't even gotten my hands on it fully yet.
Right, you're still trying to get,
Trying to do something.
yeah, trying to get the ducks in the row.
Yeah, because I'm like the GM that I brought in for that. She's still kind of wanting to go into it and everything with me, and I'm like, well, I got to get the roster together first, because I don't know what's going on with any of their contracts. I wasn't here for it.
About a few, I already,
Kate got moved up, which I didn't know about till last minute.
that was one of, yeah, so that was a decision made by the original owner before you.
Yeah, I know. Kate got moved up after a certain amount. She only had a certain amount of dates on her sudden impact contract, and she was going to get called up. And then I found out she's facing. She's in the #1 contenders match. She wins it. Now she's facing Cody Hale, and now it's like, well, I can have her in the revival match because the revival match is already set. It's already been done. But
Yeah.
now it's like that's another woman that's not on the roster.
Right.
So,
Which, I mean, you got the help now. It should be.
oh yeah, I just gotta get the shows done.
Which, I mean, I understand, dude.
And the easy thing is, like, I could just run monthly shows if I want. I can just be like an independent and just have to do like one show a month. But I don't know if I want to do that. And the other crazy idea I had was just morphing sudden impact and takedown together, but I don't know if I want to do that either.
Oh, God, no. Don't do that.
I don't want to do that either.
Oh, Christ, please.
I'm just now getting takedown to a position where people actually care about the show. That was the worst part. Like looking at the views and everything while I was gone, and realizing the takedown, nobody gave a damn about takedown. And the takedown was the first show I ever, takedown was the mainstay. And yeah, Wildcats separated from takedown for obvious reasons, but at the same time, it's just like I got to get back in here and fix this.
Started it. It worked.
Yeah. I don't really have much of a choice right now. I gotta do something.
Better than that. But, I mean, everything now is slowly starting to get somewhere. Yeah, did you actually sign No More Heroes, or was that something else?
Man, that's a whole thing. I don't know what happened, what's going on with them. Lucinda doesn't know. All I know is that they were signed. They were signed. They have their. We've seen the contracts. They're legit. They're not forged or forged signatures or any of that stuff. They're legit DCA contracts. I don't know how many years it's for. It doesn't specify. They have like a clause in their contracts where they can get out whenever they want. And I don't know. I guess Battle did it, but she's not here, so I can't really confirm that. I can't sit here and say, oh, she did it, but she's not here. And that would be like that would be kind of slanderish, and I could get sued for that. So I don't want to say, oh, she did it, because you know, all I know is that it's legit, and they're causing a bunch of havoc on my show. Like Wildcats 100, that was a whole mess, and I'm glad Lucinda fixed it. But you know, I like I said, I let her handle it. I'm sure she'll have everything under control. But in terms of who signed them, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, all I know is that I already had the Queen's Wrestling 5 tournament booked before I knew she got signed. So I already knew who was going to be in the tournament. So when I found out that Sylvia got signed and she's already in the tournament, it's like, well, I didn't know. You know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My phone just went off because I got a message. It's weird you're talking about Balalenka because I figured
we've been friends for so long, and you've known my little court issue, right?
Oh yeah, it was yeah. They're getting on me about that too. It's like they're on your payroll. It's like, yeah, no, they're on my payroll. It's like, what about it?
yeah.
You know, it's none of my business.
So I just got finished. So before we actually came on the flight, right, about 2 weeks or so back, I went back into court because this was the final hearing, and the verdict came in. So, guess who didn't show up?
Yeah.
So, I've been acquitted, found not guilty.
I kind of figured you would be.
I mean, yes, and that, but this is where it gets better. Balalenka was there.
Huh.
Yeah, she was there. And I'm not afraid to talk about this now because I'm at that point where it's like it's over, and I feel like it should be talked about because I think
It should.
So she came up and we talked. And the one thing she kept saying was, she just came up to me and she just said, well, congratulations on your win, which I thought it was sarcasm or something.
Yeah, because
And she wasn't being sarcastic. She actually was being serious about it. She kind of went, she just kind of went, whatever happened, I know how you feel, but you should know that you must do anything in war. But don't let that change the fact that when I respect you as an individual and as a businessman and as a wrestler and what you do, I mean it. I didn't bullshit you about that. I never lied to you about that. I do respect you as that way. To make a long story short, she asked me, how much did Zahaya try to sue you for? I throw a price. She says I'll triple it and give that back to you. She's like, no string attached, because quite frankly, he wasted your time and he wasted my time.
Well, see, here's the thing, like, right? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about like a bad, because one, I understand, like, she's a general, right?
Yeah, she is.
She was in a freaking war, right?
Mm-hmm.
She, like, a lot of people don't know what she's been through and don't know her backstory, like me, like I do, like you do, like Revy does. You know, they don't know, right? So and I know people like Eddie and people like that are gonna come at me and be like, oh, well, you're backing her up when she tried to take over your company and all that. It's like, yeah, that may be right, but at the same time, it's like, compare her to Esdeath, right? That's why I booked the freaking death match. It's like, at least with Balalaika, at least she backs herself up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you really look at her history, if you really look deep into it, right, you know that no matter what horrible stuff she's done, no matter what terrible thing she's done, she's always backed up every word she said. She's never lied about anything. She's been straight up about everything she's done. Right?
Yeah.
So that in that aspect, I give her respect for that. And she and to be honest, right, when she was coming after me and everything like that, she never really physically tried to hurt me. Because let's be honest, she could have killed me and she could have snapped my neck and taken the company that way. Anytime she felt like it.
Yeah.
She's done it to plenty of people. She could have gotten Hotel Moscow to come after me repeatedly, over and over again, right? But she didn't do any of that. She could have gotten Hotel Moscow to just take out DCA just in the snap of her finger.
Didn't do that.
No, she didn't. She didn't do that. She wanted to do it an honorable way in a fight. And she lost, and I'm sure she's understanding of that. Now, right now, she hasn't been around, but, a lot of people don't know this, but she signed, before she left, she signed a contract that keeps her in DCA. She's still contracted. She's still there. Even though she's not been on the shows, she's still under contract. But, that's the thing, right? And so it's like, with me, it's like, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I like her, because out of respect professionally, as a businessman that I am, I respect that aspect that she didn't straight up try to kill me right off the bat, because she could have.
Yeah.
She actually said, "Hey, fight me for this." So in that aspect, I respect her. And in that case, with you, or paying you back the money, is like, she did what she needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
She put her eggs in the wrong basket, and she admitted she put her eggs in the wrong basket. And now she's going back and she's returning the favor. And unlike another general that she just despises, because she feels like, and this is again, it's gonna probably come at me and be like, "Oh, you're defending her. Oh, you're defending her." But we're being real here.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, she feels that as disrespected what a general is about. So it's like, I understand that aspect of it. I mean, look what she's done. Sleeping around with the talent, pushing the talent toward a world title, which Balalaika did too. But in the sense of it, right? Aubrey, when she won the belt, she didn't do anything wrong.
No.
She stayed within the context of the rules. The rules were, if anybody got involved in the match, on jury's behalf, she'd lose the belt. It was just a matter of circumstance. And we know how good Aubrey is.
I mean, of course I know.
We signed her. You trained her.
Yeah.
You trained her, and we both sat down with her, and we both had, we were both when she signed the contract, because that's how good she was. It was like, we're gonna give you a DCA contract. Everything fell out right, fell into place after that, right? So, and so she can get it done on her own.
Yeah.
And then when she teamed with Mike Media, that was the best thing that could ever happen to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because it's one of those ideas that we didn't have. Like, they just literally,
They came up with it.
yeah, they just came up with it. They were like,
My Mimi talked to me about it. It's like, after going to a couple parties with Aubrey, she got to figure out Aubrey really liked partying. She didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
I definitely didn't know that.
He's not the kind of person that wants to, go to raves. Like, and I still don't think she would be the kind of person wants to do it. She just does it because it makes my Mimi happy. We really are like sisters. And I went to the hospital after Revelations was over, and I saw how Aubrey looked, and she didn't look that good.
Mm-mm.
Like, to be fair, it looked like she just, like, her heart got ripped out and got put back in place, and it looked like her mind was just in like 15 different directions, and she's still not out of the hospital yet.
Yeah, before we went on the plane, I got to try to go and see her, and yeah, I think the only thing she did is look at me and then just kind of as weakly as she could wave at me, and that was it. She had nothing left after that.
I think the last thing I remember is like I went to the nurse, and the nurse was like, she can't see her right now. I was like, she okay? And the nurse was like, the only thing she kept telling me is, where's Mimi? And I haven't heard her say Mimi in forever.
Right.
Like, where's Mimi? And it's like, I know my Mimi probably went to see her, and I think the last time I talked to my Mimi about it, because I know Lucinda talked to my Mimi about it, and she talks to her more than I do, because I've got stay mostly at home and do personal stuff like business stuff. But last time I remember talking to her about it, my niece said that she never said anything to her. She just looked at her. She looked at her or just was asleep. So I don't know.
When that road gets there, when we get to that part, then we'll know. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think this is the time Aubrey really needs to just look into herself. 'Cause I saw Revy and Carmen live. I was in the crowd. It wasn't fun, and I never wished that on anybody else. And then I saw what my Mimi and Aubrey did to each other, and I had horrible flashbacks of when Casey threw Anthony Lewis up in the air and he went through the hole in the cell.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
And you screamed like a goddamn banshee. Like,
why'd you have to bring that up?
I'll tell you right now, like, that's probably never gonna. That's like the scream that Hit Kid did when my Mimi threw Aubrey off the cell was like a close second.
Jesus.
But
It was I mean, I was in the back for that, watching that. Yeah.
dude, it's like,
I don't think people get, or they probably are slowly starting to get, that these were two girls I trained, helped mold them to who they are, and to see both of them go to such extremes. On one hand, I'm proud of them for how much they've grown and accomplished, but at the same time, I was worried. I was really worried.
dude, I legit thought somebody was gonna legitimately die.
Yeah, I was
Freaking, my Mimi probably shouldn't have been walking like a month later. She had a freaking gash in her back and
yeah,
a hole in her hand and a freaking.
I remember I was there in the fucking ambulance, just between the both of them, freaking the hell out. And I'm looking at my Mimi, I'm like, I'm looking at her, and she's just like, I'm gonna walk again, I'm gonna be back. I'm like, no the fuck you shouldn't. She goes, I'm gonna be okay.
It's just like, I remember you telling me that, and thing she said was like, "But at least I got my sister back."
Yeah, and I was like,
She legit feels like she killed whatever it was in Aubrey to make her the way she was. Like she believes in her soul that Aubrey's gonna be back to the way she used to be.
I'm praying she is actually.
Yeah. Like people want to see Lethal and Sweet back.
They want the Rave Slayers.
Yeah. Well, my Mimi said like the Rave Slayers are nothing without Aubrey, which is true.
Yeah.
You know?
Very true.
And it's crazy to think that like a year before that, they were tag team champions.
Longest reigning.
And well, not longest reigning tag team champion.
But
Well, no,
close.
not longest reigning, but probably the most popular
Oh yeah.
outside of
Pirate Life. Yeah.
And now a year removed from that, like over a year now, but they've both been Wildcats champions now. Now Aubrey's was longer than my Mimi's. They both can say that they won the big title.
Mm-hmm. Which was one of their goals when they started, and now they both have it. Oh my god.
That's the crazy part. I think it's set in for my Mimi, but I don't think it's set in for Aubrey yet. When it does set in for Aubrey, I don't know how she's gonna take it. Either she'll be really happy, or she'll be like really upset that she's not champion. I don't even think that's set in. Like even right now, even like 2 months later, 3 months later, I don't think she's even fully grasped the fact that she's not a champion. She's not the Wildcats champion.
Well, I think majority of the time she's been in and out of a coma, so
Yeah.
shit. I can slowly see the arena up here, and whew, the fucking jitters are coming on me now. I always get that. That's when I know. That's when I start When I start getting them shakes, I know the match is about to be something.
Dude, there's like 70,000 people packed into this place. Why? How did I put myself on this?
You did it.
Like, this isn't Revelations, man.
Well, you're doing it in England, in one of the most prestigious arenas, in a place that loves wrestling. Fucking course they're gonna do it, you know. But
Yeah, like, I'm like, this is the show that started everything.
Proving ground, yeah.
Like, freaking, I got Atlas and Zach in the main event again.
Whew, that got fucking personal real quick though. Jeez.
No, it did.
Shit.
It did. Look,
That got way too fucking personal.
Atlas wants to be the face of the company. He feels he's been the face of the company. You know. And you know, and even you don't know that. Me and Atlas talked it out. You know?
Oh, you finally did, huh?
Yeah, he came up to me.
Oh, so he. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. Good for him.
No, I know. I know. I know the things between you. I've heard everything. I heard the stories. I've heard all the talk. Right. I've heard what you had to say about him. But he actually came up to me, right? Which was first of all weird.
Yeah.
Talking. But he's like, "I'm glad you're back." I was like, "Thank you." He's like, "You know I didn't mean to do it, right?" And he's like, and I'm like, you I know what you're talking about, and like, it's okay. Like I don't hate you. You know, I just wish you didn't act like a jerk.
Like, I mean, there could have been so many different ways that could have been handled.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I've said it, I never hated him. I just fucking hated the fact that he had to do that shit and bring me down with it.
Well, no, it's not just you. It's like,
Well, and you as well. I mean,
I heard about the Nathan Roderick stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And like I heard about all the other backstage stuff.
The the Nathan Roderick thing. The only reason I know that is because, well, you know, I got a second brother in this place, and that's Afro, and I know all the boys in TCW. Actually, I fucking damn near grew up with these men because I was on the road with them. So, I I was with I was doing a show. Me and Ethan were tag teaming, and Nathan and Billy Yank, and Nathan told me what happened. He was like, "You still work in DCA, right?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I don't think I'm ever gonna fucking go there again." I go, "Why?" He says, "What's that dude, Atlas?" I go, "Yeah." And he told me what happened. I was like, "Shit, fucking really?" He goes, "Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 witnesses."
Well, it's like I'd want Nathan to come back because he was a really cool dude to me.
Yeah.
Nathan, I had big plans for him. Like the whole Atlas and Nathan thing was supposed to lead to something big, but I didn't know that he had did that stuff.
Yeah, kind of politicked his way and got Nathan fired.
Yeah. But my thing is like, I'm thinking to myself that he comes up to me and says, "I'm glad you're back. I don't say thanks." And then he's like, "I didn't mean to do that." I was like, "Well, you didn't have to act like a jerk."
And it's like I heard about everything he did, and I just want to know why you did it. And he's like, I'm just angry about everything. Angry at the fact that all these people are coming in, and people are just brushing me off. It's like, that's gonna happen in this business.
I mean, for real.
It's like,
How many fucking times have I got brushed off?
People are gonna brush you off. People are gonna forget about you. People are gonna, act like they forget about you. And you gotta learn to step up. It's like and I'm looking him right in the eye, and it's like, this is the first time that I've seen you step up since I signed you. It's like, and there's no politics. There's no, backstage shenanigans. None of that stuff. Like, this is the first time I've seen you legitimately step up and say, "My name's Atlas Jones, and I want this title." And it's like, where's that Atlas been the last few years? It's like, I want to know where he's been.
Right.
And he's like, "I'm right here." It's like, no, you aren't. You're right here now, but you weren't. You weren't last year. You weren't the year before that. You weren't the year before that. And you pissed off a lot of people. It's like, hell, where's your sister at? It's like, I've been waiting for her to come back for a long time.
When her contract expires, she didn't want to come back
Yeah.
because
I wanted her to come.
he got into it. Well, basically, he kind of got into it with Tyler. And
Yeah, I know. 'cause
she
Tyler-
loves her husband, and they just kind of got into it, and he tried to force his hand, and she was like, "Fuck you," and
Well, because in his defense on at least that part of that Tyler was part of the blacklist at that point.
right.
Atlas probably thought, "Hey, the blacklist are bad people. I don't want this around my sister." But he doesn't know what goes on behind closed doors.
No, he doesn't. Which
And that's where it's like Tyler's a real, because Tyler's always been a cool dude. He's always been a cool dude to everybody. Like when he was going through that whole golden tattoos thing, his golden tattoos phase, which a lot of people forget about, but I'm glad they forget about.
Which I want to kind of point. I want to beat the shit out of anybody who told him to paint his fucking tattoos gold.
I want to.
Told him to put gold body paint on where his tattoos are. I want to
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him.
Like, and like the thing about it, like, cause he was like, the whole gold rush thing, and so people were like, "You should think your tattoos gold." I'll give you that. It's like, no.
No, that doesn't get you.
So then right around the I think 40th episode, around the 2-year anniversary, he grew his hair out, and he had like a purple attire, and it was Mr. Must See. That was all fine and good. And then he joined the Blacklist, and then he finally got a haircut and tattoos that actually worked for him. And now he's wrestling elite, and I've never seen him look better, physically, mentally, everything.
Because he started. Well, it's because he started to work on the fact that he's his amateur background, which I was really shocked about. I didn't know he had an amateur background until he started talking to me about it, and I was like, "Fuck, why you ain't using that?"
Dude, I maintain the fact that if, like, I know Arcan's the pure champion right now and all that, but I still maintain the fact that that Tyler Parks, since the day I signed him, Tyler Parks is probably the most purest, complete wrestler I've ever seen. Like, you could put him against anybody in the world, and you will not have a bad match.
Oh, that's very true. Just being in the ring with him and then watching him with other people, you've seen that.
Yeah, like anybody will tell you, he is one of the most complete wrestlers ever. And like he's the most complete wrestler I've ever seen.
But you said Atlas came up to you and just tried to talk to you and patch things up with you.
Oh yeah, and we did. And I just told him, I said, you know, the moment you do this again, then you're not coming back.
So you just gave me the ultimatum right then and there.
Of course. It's like, I'm back now. So we're not, like, I'm back now, and there's absolutely no reason to continue. So if you think it is, you just keep thinking that, because if you do, then you're gone, because I don't have any room for it.
Okay. Jesus shit, look at that fucking crowd, dude.
Well, I mean, we got a pre-show. We're packing in for that. We're not even thinking,
Oh my god.
the thing is, like, we gotta like go ahead to the hotel first, which I forgot about. We gotta head to the hotel first, so it's like we gotta pass through all this freaking traffic and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
What the
They're going for the pre-show.
Yeah. Hold up. Why the fuck my phone go? Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's gonna be something interesting to look at when I get back to the hotel. I was sent something. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh, so you're not gonna tell me?
Nah, I'll tell you real talk. I don't know how the fuck Like got my number, but she did.
What did I just say? Like 5 seconds. Like
I
5
know. Shush, I get it. She sent me. She said I'm gonna get. She says, I have something delivered to me at my room. I don't trust that, but okay. She says like
Oh.
she says that. Yeah, probably that. So, damn. Okay. But getting close to this hotel now. Yeah. Have you ever thought you'd see that you see a DCA banner near the arena again?
With me running the ship? No.
Well, getting used to it, and oh my god. Like, it's funny because the windows are up, but I'm literally hearing a bunch of people screaming Blackheart right now. I'm shocked. Not really, but I'm hearing a lot of Blackheart chants going on.
Well, Allison, look,
thing is with Allison's like this is the best she's looked in a long time. She finally doesn't have anybody to really truly stop her.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like personally, Ovana is someone that I've had my eye on for a while, and me and Lucinda know her like personally. It's like there's only like a handful of people that we can say we know personally, outside of the
Mm-hmm.
and like what Ovana's going through right now, I can't really explain it. Like she was going through a lot of stuff before she won the Fever title, and the fact that she's allowing this stuff to happen right now, I don't think it's her. I personally don't think it's her fault. I think it's because people are getting in her ear and telling her what to do, and she's so far gone right now. And I think it's because she doesn't have any confidence in herself. Because she was losing so many matches, and she was losing so much, she was on this downward spiral. Like she got assaulted in the backstage by possibly a dude.
Yeah.
And she lost her Genesis title, and
Which
Elizabeth Frieza freaking running her down week after week.
he did. He did get reprimanded for that though.
No, I'm pretty sure he did. Like it's not any of my business, but I'm like, that would scar anybody.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And it's like, for someone like her who, she's only been in the business for 2 years, and she's not used to situations like that. She's not used to knowing what to do in those kind of situations. So that happens, like anybody would get scarred. She's not immune to that. And now she's got people in her ear telling her what to do, telling her what to say, and she thinks that this is the best path for her, but I don't know. Yeah, she's the champion, but is she really proud?
Right. All I know is, she better be prepared.
She's got three hungry women in there, especially Michelle.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen Michelle backstage, and she's freaking pissed. She's got a chip on her shoulder.
She's a lot more aggressive than she normally is.
Because look, this is her second chance, really. Like she's been in the company for so long, and she still hasn't won the Viva title, and this is what her fifth, sixth, seventh shot at the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like she needs that belt.
There's a lot of girls that need it.
Oh yeah, a lot of girls need it, but then there's Michelle. It's like who's been going after it constantly. If she doesn't get it here, like she's gonna have to she's gonna have to do something else.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think Lucinda's gonna give her another shot, no matter how many matches she wins. She's probably gonna have to go after the Goddess title, the Rising Star title, or get her a tag partner or something.
Oh, she can do.
Yeah, because she's gonna be out of the picture, like probably for good. But why would you pursue something you can't do? Like you just keep trying, and you still can't get it. Like I'm not saying she should give up, like, but she may not have a choice because, there's so many hungry women on the roster, and there's still women that are calling this in day in and day out wanting to come in. It's like I hate the my thing is like people come up to me and they're like, you're the main source of women's wrestling in virtual wrestling. Like, you're number one. You're where everyone wants to be. Wildcats is where everyone wants to be. Wildcats is the best ever. Wildcats is number one. I don't want to
I don't want to be like put on a pedestal. You know? I don't. I don't want to. I don't want Wildcats to be put on a pedestal that's like so much better than everybody else.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like I understand where they're coming from. It's like when I started the women's division on DA, I made a promise to myself that I was going to make sure that it was a division that wasn't 5-minute matches, that wasn't like, you know, bathroom break quality, that you actually wanted to sit down and watch these women wrestle. Because I saw like, and that's why I started Queens of Wrestling. It's the same thing. It's because like I saw women, you know, it was treated like, oh, here's another Divas match, here's another bathroom break match. Let me just go get something to eat while I skip this match. You know?
Right.
And now look at it. There's only like people like Matos and people like you know Fred and you know people in the lore. They started the whole thing, but somewhere in between then and now, in the middle, there was that little point in time when people saw it as like just a joke, and they didn't take it really seriously. Even you know, well, FCA was still going on, and DWF was still going on, and the world was still going on. There was still that little pocket of people that were like, man, why are we watching that? Like, who cares about women's virtual wrestling? Like, who cares? You know, why should I care? Why should I watch this? And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn that around. I'm gonna do something to change that, and I did. And now, like this year is like 5th anniversaries all around. I got Proving Ground, I got Redemption, I got Heaven, she's got Queens of Wrestling. It's got a lot on my plate. I got a lot to live up to. Freaking Queens of Wrestling, I'm trying to book a freaking death match. 2 killers. Like, I don't know that. Like, I might need to barricade the entire arena. I might need to just evacuate everybody.
That'd be the best thing you can do.
Probably, because I don't even know if that's sad. Like, I left the ball in the airport. I'm like, you two sort it out. Like, I'm done. I ain't getting it wrong. I just threw the net out there and see who's gonna take the bait. Yeah, that's all I did. I gotta turn it.
Well, alright, we're here now. You got your stuff, man?
Yeah. My first big show in 3.5 years.
This is my, what, 3rd, 4th Proving Ground I've been at? 3rd.
Third, yeah. Third. It's a third.
Well, it's about to be fun.
Alright, let's go.